One scorching morning, a girl named Zamkuti found something impossible sitting on her clay water pot, a tiny cloud, fast asleep, softly snoring in the sun. The cloud was no bigger than a pillow, white and warm, puffing gently with each little snore, but something was terribly wrong. It had forgotten how to rain. The village needed rain badly. The earth was cracked, the well was running low, and Zamkuti's grandmother had been rationing their last pot of water for days. Zamkuti tickled the cloud with a long rooster feather, running it along its puffy belly, but the cloud just giggled, hiccuped once, and floated sideways off the pot. She squeezed it between her palms like a wet sponge. Then shook it. Then tossed it up and caught it. But not a single drop came out. She sang it every rain song her grandmother knew, clapping the rhythm on her knees, stomping her bare feet in the dust. The cloud bobbed along happily, bone dry. She carried it up to the rooftop and held it high above her head, hoping the big clouds passing overhead would remind it what clouds are supposed to do. But the big clouds sailed past without a glance, and the little clouds seemed to shrink in her hands, turning from white to a dull tired gray. Zamkuti tried splashing it with well water, fanning it with a banana leaf, even telling it the saddest story she knew, but the cloud only shrank smaller. The sun kept climbing, the flowers drooped. The birds stopped singing in the neem tree, and the village felt like it was holding its breath for rain that never came. By afternoon, the little cloud sat in the dust, barely the size of Zamkuti's two-cupped hands, trembling like a frightened kitten, its edges fraying into thin wisps. Zamkuti sat beside it, tired and thirsty, and looked at her grandmother's water pot. The one she had been told never to waste, not even one drop. She tilted the pot and saw only a thin shimmer of water at the very bottom. Barely enough for one small drink, her last sip until the well ran. But the cloud looked so small and so lost and so frightened that Zamkuti made a quiet decision. She picked up the heavy pot with both her hands. She tipped the pot slowly, carefully, and poured every last drop of her water over the trembling little cloud, watching it soak in like rain into dry earth. The cloud shivered once, turned from gray to blinding white, and began to swell, growing and rising, past the rooftop, past the neem tree, filling half the sky. With a deep, happy rumble, the enormous cloud let loose. Rain poured down in thick silver ropes, splashing into every pot and pan and pair of open hands. Zamkuti stood in the downpour laughing, her empty water pot filling beside her, because sometimes the only way to make it rain is to give away your last drop.